I want to start with Gavin Newsom.
Thanks, Will.
I just think it's so cute, sad but cute, that he wants to claim somehow not just allegiance with, but leadership of the insurgency.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reminded, Will, as you were playing that clip of, I traveled with Charlie, actually, when he went up and did Gavin Newsom's first podcast. And you remember back in that moment, we were all kind of asking the question, which way is the Democrat Party going to go? Are they going to moderate? Are they going to become more radical? And in that podcast, he made some comments that got a lot of news headlines about trans in sports. And I think he was, a little trial balloon to see which way the wind was blowing. And that's exactly what we realized when we met him, is that he's sticking his finger up in the air. He wants to see which way the wind's blowing. And now it's become clear that the DSA are running roughshod over establishment Democrats, because establishment Democrats are walking, talking mediocrities. Like, we should have actually seen this coming. The leadership in the establishment wing of the Democrat Party, you almost can't help but agree with the grassroots energy of the far left base of the Democrat Party that these people are awful. They are frauds. And so, of course, in retrospect, it was obviously always going to go this direction. And now that Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris and others realize that, they're trying to get in with it, they're trying to cozy up with it, and they're trying to justify it morally and philosophically, and they're struggling.
Well, speaking of frauds, I think in response largely to President Trump's vaccine schedule executive order yesterday, there is a bit of a greatest hits going around of the way the media has responded now and comparing it to the way they responded, Andrew, back in 2020 when it came to the COVID vaccine. So let's just remember who we're talking about. These frauds.
You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem, period.
This isn't shaming, this is the truth. Maybe they should be shamed, but the unvaccinated.
You're basically punishing the vaccinated for the sins of the unvaccinated, right? If everyone were vaccinated, we wouldn't have this issue.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you.
Whether malevolent, Andrew, or just simply sheep, I don't believe that anybody that spoke like that a short 5 years ago really should ever be taken seriously on any issue whatsoever again. They're complete frauds.
Yeah. I completely agree, Will. It's still one of the most infuriating things. By the way, when I talk to our students, when I talk to just normal voters out there, what happened during COVID is still, to this day, one of the most excruciating moments in American history. It's one of the most painful memories, and these people are all frauds. And it's also an important reminder, Will, that we should never, ever give in to the lure of DSA authoritarianism, centralizing power. If America was more centralized in that point, it would have been even more devastating for more people. Thankfully, we had the federalist system. Some states got to do it right, and it saved a lot of people from a lot more heartache, closed businesses, and the like. So we have to remember there is genius in the fact that this country is decentralized and power is spread out over geography and time, and we have to hold on to that birthright because it will save us from tyrants like these people.
Andrew, you're right. We know almost empirically that people don't like to talk about COVID, largely because, as you describe it, it's painful. But it's also useful to just remember. So I want to do this with you one more time. I want to play you one more clip, this from CNN, in 2021, when they went after a doctor accused of so-called misinformation.
The Center for Countering Digital Hate, a nonprofit tracking misinformation about COVID online, put Dr. Mercola, an osteopathic physician, at the top of its disinformation dozen.
They chased him down, Andrew, in Florida. He was riding his bike. They stuck a camera and a microphone in his face for daring to say that masks don't work and the COVID vaccine could, in some people, have a negative consequence. His misinformation was the truth. And as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Mercado has an open invitation here for a conversation on The Will Cain Show.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, we look back at that time and we realize who was brave, who was honest, who was fearless, and who was bought off and paid for, who wanted more power, who wanted more tyranny and authoritarian control of the American people. And we have to remember our lessons of COVID. I know it feels like ancient history already, but it's not. This is coming for us in a state near you. We have to fight back. COVID was just 1.0. There is much worse things that the tyrannical left will do and can do if they get power.
Yeah, That was just a vehicle. It was a vehicle. There will be other vehicles towards the same ends.
That's right.
Andrew Colvett, thank you so much. Good to see you, Andrew.
Exactly right. Thanks, Will.